Shelly. I'm Shelly, and I'm here in Buena Vista, which is also some beautiful mountains, and I'm inspired to share a requested practice for shoulder opening, shoulder healing, requested, inspired by David. So thank you, David, for your inspiration. And you can use a strap, a scarf. So I'm camping, and all I have is this car strap, but you can use a belt just the same. I ask you to open your heart and open your mind, and together let's do this.
Beginning in your favorite Sukhasana, either crisscross applesauce or tucking in for Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet kissing soles of the feet, tuning into what feels good for you. Breathing a breath into the back of the heart. Breathing a breath into the back of the heart, bringing the awareness into the shoulders, and deeply inhaling into the shoulders and allowing yourself to let go with an ah or an ha sound. Inhaling in and exhaling with a ah or a ha. Breathing a breath at your own pace, allowing your shoulders to drop back, rolling back at the shoulders, opening up the heart, opening the chest. Imagine zipping at your core and running all the way up to your chin, keeping a soft tuck to the chin, pulling energy all the way up to the crown of your head, rolling the shoulders, opening the chest, and setting an intention of why you're here. Holding on to an intention of why this practice, why today. Maybe it's to love and accept yourself, or to open your shoulders if you have a shoulder injury and need a little healing. Or maybe you're just happy and so excited to be here. Whatever that intention is, hold on to that. We really focus and hone in on your breath. Let go of whatever was before this or whatever's after this, and be here in this moment with me and with yourself, present. Breathing in a breath, rolling the shoulders back, really mindfully inhaling and exhaling, rolling up at the hip joint. Each time opening up the chest deeper and deeper, maybe rolling up and squeezing up near the ears and allowing them to drop away, giving space between the ears and the shoulder. Rolling up, squeezing, exhaling, opening and dropping the shoulders down. Inhale, rising up, squeezing the shoulders near the ears. Exhaling, rolling back down at that ball and joint socket. Inhale, raising up, exhaling slowly and mindfully. Reversing this in the opposite direction. Shoulders up towards the ears, rolling forward. Slowly and mindfully doing what feels good for you, rolling up at the shoulders here, being conscious in the moment here. Bringing the awareness into the part of the body that you want to heal, the part of your body that you want to open and expand. Really rolling, inhale, rising the arms up to the sun, crossing over, reaching and grabbing for the left arm and pulling from one side, expanding and opening up the ribs on one side, compressing on the opposite, really feeling the expansion and compression of the intercostal muscles, the muscles webbing between the ribs. Taking a breath, inhaling, deep exhale, really being present with your shoulders. Exhaling, trickling the hands down to the side. Inhale, raising up the opposite arm, pulling, flipping the palm of the hand up to the sun on one side. Exhaling, feeling that openness on one side, the compression on the opposite, while you're still rooted into the earth with your sit bones. Or if you need, you can allow your legs to drop straight forward, taking a deep conscious breath and being present here. Exhaling, trickling the arms down, bringing one arm across the front of the body, hugging or tucking that arm across the body. You can cross, giving yourself a small hug around the shoulder, giving yourself an outward high five. This reminds me of middle school gym class, but this is a really good stretch on your bicep muscles. Also, really in coordination with your shoulder muscles. Exhaling, winging out, crossing the opposite side, bringing that hand up or hugging that arm across the body. Really feeling a deep stretch in those biceps, that muscle that's very closely related to that shoulder joint. Exhaling the arms straight down, bringing one leg back and the other into a tabletop position. Really grounding down through the four corners of your hand, a starfish hand, pushing through the thumb and the pointer finger, and tuning into your heels, ankles, knees, your booty, and tuning into the shoulders, rolling the shoulders back, feeling what it feels like in your shoulders in this tabletop, rolling up for a cow, coming down, dropping the navel down for a cow. Inhale, really pushing up through the shoulder blades. Exhaling, allowing those shoulder blades to drop, navel drop, tail and chin rises. Exhale, tucking the chin to the tail, really mindfully being present here in your shoulders in this moment. Grounding through that starfish hand here, and really being aware of your hands and your biceps. If your hands are curling in or out, placing the hand down on the earth, threading the needle. Exhaling up to the sky, tucking in. Exhale, raising the hand shoulder over shoulder, tucking between the space of the knee and the hand. Inhale, rising to thread for an active threading the needle. Inhale to rising up those shoulder blades. Exhaling, sinking and taking a moment. Exhaling, raising up. Switching the opposite hand, planting into the earth, starfish hand, raising shoulder over shoulder. Exhaling, threading through that space between the hand and the leg. Inhale, rising, being active. Really tuning into that shoulder blade in the socket on the supporting hand. And also the rotating and lifting and sinking down arm. Inhale, raising up to the sun. Exhale, sinking down as I'm here surrounded by this beautiful nature, absorbing the energy of all. Coming from tabletop into Vajrasan variation. This is for practices for David. David, thank you for awakening me to this. For this variation, you can post up on your feet and you can sit back if this works for your body. Or if you do not have the mobility and of this, you can drop the feet down to the earth or cross arch, touching arch on either side. You have to do what feels good to you. Yoga is not a one size fits all. You can also grab a blanket or put a pillow underneath the sit bones, and you can relax right here underneath the booty and just resting back if that is what feels best for you, but tuning to what feels good for you. I want a deeper stretch in my feet, so I'm going to sit back on a more active foot, grabbing for that strap, belt, or scarf, or even if you have a little kitchen hand towel, that will work just fine. This is a car strap because I am camping in Buena Vista. I'm going to double it over. Inhale, rising, hands 2 to 3 feet apart, soft bend to the elbows, being active and aware of the body, zipping up through that core strength, tuning into the core of the body, coarsening that core muscles in, and taking a moment to really tune into those bandhas, those locks, zipping up that midsection, really coming aware of the shoulders, with that soft bend. Inhale, slowly and mindfully raising with a deep exhale to a little bit above the top of the head. Exhale slowly, mindfully, while pulling and creating tension between your strap here. Inhale, raising, pulling, creating tension a little bit higher this time. This is one of those poses that can feel either like so much or nothing at all. So really pulling, creating friction with your own body to what feels good to your joints. I'm slowly venturing up, coming back a little bit further, slowly and mindfully pulling. I'm not just letting go loose here, and coming back to what feels good. If this is all that feels good, that's okay. You can stay here and floating forward, slowly and mindfully lifting the arms up above the head here, and bringing one arm back, dropping that left or right arm back while you're creating a soft bend in the top supporting hand, really dropping down your strap. My strap is a little bit longer now, more like 3 feet apart. You can either raise up from your core if you would like to, or you can stay back. I'm going to choose to raise up and really push my pelvis forward to engage my glutes and my hamstrings, getting a double whammy workout. Inhale, creating a little pulse here, pulsing back and forth, getting a soft back bend, and then slightly bending forward, still creating that tension between the hands and those shoulder joints, really opening that shoulder joint on both sides, really peeling those shoulders away from each other, bringing them up into a horizontal line here. See that space? I have a nice amount of space for me. Do what feels good for you. If you need a shallower space, you can. Exhale, dropping the other opposite arm, right arm down if you will, or left, and really pulling, creating that tension and friction. Still always soft bend the elbows in yoga. Soft bend the elbows, bending, hinging forward, and just coming back and really peeling the shoulder blades away from each other. We are active in the biceps, even in the back and the trapezius. On that hind arm, you can really feel in the shoulder the movement of rocking back and forth. Inhale, raising to a horizontal line, and slowly resituating the strap line is falling a little bit. And we're going to be working our trapezius muscle, which is that beautiful kite-shaped muscle from your neck down to your back. Inhale, raising the arms up and bending soft. If you've ever done this with a workout machine, just squeezing those muscles together, opening and expanding at the chest, dropping the ears away from the shoulders. Inhale, raising up, creating tension between the hands. Inhale, rising, squeezing shoulder blades and shoulder blades together. Again, this is one of those poses where you can feel so much or not enough. Really being mindful. If you can, I can get more of an extension and drop down, but if you can only stay in the middle of your back, stay there. Or if it feels good, opening up the shoulders, and you can drop the arms down, bypassing that shoulder joint. Inhale, slowly and mindfully raising up to the sun. Exhale, bringing the shoulder blades, driving the elbows together, and slowly dropping down towards booty. Inhale, raising up to what feels good for you. If you need a pause in the middle of the traps, really squeezing those muscles together, being active, opening up the shoulders here, really feeling compression in the back. Inhale, gently, mindfully, allowing that strap to come forward and resituating the strap and twisting at one side, taking that body and creating tension and twisting to one side, coming to a neutral, and twisting to the opposite for more active. Center, twisting. So take this twist at your own pace, tuning into the breath, and a twist. Pulling that lengthen energy up through your crown. Inhale, twisting. I'm checking on my children. Camping, family camping, twisting. It's always interesting and fun with 3 children. Twisting at that body, really feeling active. I'm going to take a little journey, kind of like a little dance move. I'm like a little flight kitten. I don't know what that means, but I just said that out loud, and that is what we're going with. Taking the shoulders back overhead and slowly rotating. If you can just rotate, feel that rotation and bringing all the way around. Our shoulders are on this ball and joint socket. One of the few ball and joint sockets on our body, and our shoulders is one of our biggest one, minus our hips. But really rotating and feeling that socket, just rotating around slowly and mindfully, expanding the ligaments and the tendons. Really being slow and mindful here to create some healing in the body. Slowly slicing a horizontal line across. If you can, bending down and slicing and hinging a little bit forward here. Still feeling that rotation. And if you haven't already, you can go the opposite direction, reversing and slowly and mindfully, reversing, and that slowly and mindfully. And you can really feel this in the shoulders as well as the lower arms and the back, the spine. You're doing kind of like a semi-twist. Slow and mindfully, you can feel the core really engage. Inhale, slowly resting. If you are down or up and you have that pillow or blanket, or if you would like one, you may tuck that underneath of your sit bones, crossing those arches, coming in for the supported Vajrasana variation, which works best for you. Resting your hands on your legs, really tuning into the shoulders and all of the energy that you've just created. I like to envision my heart as the sun, and whenever I need healing in any specific part of my body, I envision that light coming in and cleansing and clearing and helping me heal and loosen and get rid of any toxic buildup that I have harbored in any specific part of my body. Taking this moment to be present. Tuning into your breath. Breathing into the heart. Bringing awareness back to the shoulders and what we're feeling like here. If you have your strap or your blanket, your scarf, your belt, you can grab that now. And staying up on the knees if this feels good. You can sit crisscross applesauce for this, or you can choose to stand. Inhaling, dropping the right arm down, tracking back, grabbing the top of the strap, reaching up and grabbing for the opposite hand, and really creating some friction and pulling here as you're peeling the shoulder blades away from each other, opening up the bicep on the upper shoulder, really opening up the chest, spanning and winging open, keeping a soft tuck to the chin here. Or if you can, the goal is to reach and touch the fingertips together and clasp them, if you will. This is a lot of a deeper pose, so I definitely recommend using a strap if you are in the more beginning phases here. It's a lot gentler and can really help your shoulders in the long run. Inhaling, grabbing that upper and the lower, and really pulling and peeling those shoulders away from each other. Taking a breath into the front of the heart. Breathing in, feeling expansion and compression. Feeling if you're pulling one side too far, the other. Really trying to equalize. You can drop down or sitting up. Like I said, you can be seated crisscross, or if you feel the need, you may stand in Tadasana here. Really breathing mindfully and consciously here, creating friction. My hands are shaking. If your hands aren't shaking, maybe giving yourself a little bit more effort, a little more resistance between the hands and the body. Breathing into that heart, being conscious. If you are up on your knees, really engaging the pelvic floor and lifting up and pressing the pelvis forward. Exhaling, whoop, got hooked into the back of my shirt, winging the arms down, feeling the shoulders, and going the opposite direction. Bring the opposite arm, dropping down, bending at the elbow facing up to the sun, reaching the opposite side, and feeling if one side feels different than the other. This side is definitely more tight on my body, so really tuning into what it feels like and being okay, and if you can, climbing those hands closer and closer together, opening up the shoulder on the bent lower arm, and really squeezing that upper arm in towards the ear, opening up the chest, and really feeling that resistance between the body. Taking a deep breath into the heart and letting it go, exhaling. Every time we exhale, we allow ourselves to let go of something that no longer serves us. Breathing deeply and letting go of what no longer serves you. Really being static and still, yet feeling the warmth and the heat that you're creating within your shoulders here. Opening up that heart with intentions of opening and healing and giving love and support to the shoulder. And I wanted to let you know, if I always waited for the perfect moment, I would never get anything done. I wouldn't do this vlog, I wouldn't write, I wouldn't create art. I have 3 kids, so life gets crazy, but still being and showing up as good as you can. Exhaling and sinking back into a Bhaktasana or a child's pose, devotional. Toes, big toes touching together, opening up the heels, really spreading and opening the legs up wide to the mat. Or if it feels better for you, you can bring the legs kissing thighs. You can exhale the arms back, bugs flying around. Arms back for child's pose, Balasana, or arms forward for Bhaktasana. Wherever you are, rolling your forehead slowly side to side, keeping rested and rooted down into your body, and just finding a little stillness here, feeling the shoulders open. Just breathing a beautiful breath into the heart and slowly rising up. Coming into that Vajrasan variation, which feels best for you, crisscrossing arch, kissing arch, resting pillow under sit bones, or posting up if you can. Exhaling, bending arms, crossing at the back. If you can, grabbing at each shoulder, elbow. Elbows are not shoulders, shoulders. Elbows, nope, these are elbows. Elbows, or you can grab at the forearm here. Yes, I'm human and I make mistakes. Rolling, opening the shoulder, crossing and feeling what it feels like here. Compressing back at the shoulders and really opening the chest, keeping a soft tuck to the chin. We're really powering the pelvis forward. If you've been resting down on your heels, I encourage you to rise up and really engage the glutes, the booty muscles, the hamstrings, and the pelvis. Really tucking in and opening up the shoulder with a deep breath, being aware if you're rolling in, really rolling and opening, a deep breath at the heart, breathing in love, exhaling love. kind of like for a little camel's pose. If you want, you can throw in a little bit of a gentle back bend here, but just being very conscious in your core, keeping core engagement, a soft tuck to the chin here. If you like the soft back bend, taking it a little bit deeper, but still feeling supported and rooted through the knees on the earth or the feet on the earth. And if I didn't say a blanket under your knees, hello friends, would be a really good idea. So you can always pause this and rewind this and get yourself a lovely pillow or blankie for under your knees to support those beautiful knees. Exhaling, hands to the sides and gently rocking side to side, taking a motion or a movement to do what feels good for you. For me, I just need to sway out my hips and move my back, taking a few cow and cats, or just feel free if it feels good. Do what feels good for you. And just be here in this moment for yourself. This is your practice, my dear friend. Coming in for an behind the back Anjali Mudra, which is super challenging. The beginner's pose is to do that cross variation that we just did. Oop, and I'm getting a little wobbly. Or you can dive the hand down and kind of wiggle fish, swim it up your spine, that little space there, and tuck it. And you can keep this very low down at your booty and your sacrum, and crossing and diving the other hand, not crossing, but just diving it up and trying your best to touch and just wiggling and wiggling, opening up the chest here and really feeling. For me, I really feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my forearms. Or if you can just cross hands over hands on that lower back. For me, I'm going to try this bad boy, really diving in, coming in for that reverse Anjali Mudra, that prayer in the back of the body here. Opening up the heart, really expanding the wings and tucking in, feeling what it feels like. And being okay with wherever you are in your practice. If you can't quite make it here, or if you can shoot those hands up to the middle of your shoulder blades, you go for it. This is your practice, friends. That is why this is YogaBLISS, a beautiful home practice for you to do what feels good in your body. Slowly exhaling, trickling the fingers, exhaling, sweeping the arms forward, crossing and opening up. Sweeping, hinging forward, the arms slicing through a horizontal line, crossing at the forward. Inhale, crossing elbows to elbows. Exhale, opening up the wings. Taking a breath and taking a moment to just feel what it feels like. That was a good one. Dropping the sit bones to one side while nestling the arches of the feet on one side. Really tuning into the arches, raising up and twisting to the bent side of the body. Opening up and rolling the shoulder away, opposite hand on opposite knee. Exhaling to neutral, rolling and opening up the body on the opposite side here. Really keeping the integrity of the spine by not going too far. Switching the crisscross of the legs by coming forward, really nestling the arches, rooting the sit bones into the earth. Inhale, twisting, being leery at the foot is going to want to be under the sit bone. You're going to want to move that away. Twisting that body, really being aware of the shoulders by opening and rolling them back. We have a tendency in our culture to hunch forward. We're slumped forward on computers and technology so much. Holding babies for me, nursing babies for 8 years. That's been my story. Exhaling, keeping those legs there. Oh, I forgot. Twisting the opposite side, friends. Really twisting and opening up that body, bringing in the awareness, tuning into our intention, coming back to why we're here, to healing that body, opening those shoulders, giving extra love and attention to the shoulders. My baby, coming in and giving yourself a little rub here at the back, twisting and slowly rolling the neck from side to side, opening and rolling those shoulders, how we begin. Softly dropping the shoulder down to the right, the ear down to the right shoulder, not torquing here, but slowly dropping with the opposite hand, giving yourself a gentle helping hand. The neck is located right near the shoulders. They're all intercorrelated, so giving love and affection to your neck. Inhaling to a neutral, really neutralizing, softly dropping down to the left shoulder. Dropping and slowly, gently, this isn't like twisting and twerking, just gently, still creating space with that shoulder and that ear here. Really giving love to the shoulder and the neck. And inhaling, slowly pushing with the forefingers up on the chin, raising up the nose, giving a soft compression to the back of the neck and an expansion in the front of the neck. Breathing a deep breath in, neutralizing the spine, and gently dropping the nose down towards the earth, and using the back of the hand or the front of the hand to gently help forward, being slow and gentle with yourself. Inhaling back to neutral here. Feeling what it feels like inside of your body, inside of your shoulders, inside of your heart. Just tuning into that space of the shoulders, twisting around, allowing those feet to come forward, and slowly and mindfully rolling each vertebrae by vertebrae onto the earth like a string of mala beads, and tuning into the shoulders once again here, friends. Feeling what it feels like to tuck the shoulder blades in and underneath, opening and expanding at the chest, or opening and allowing them to create more space. Climbing up and tucking and opening up the shoulders. Tuning in for Matsyendrasana, kickstanding, bending at each elbow, palms facing the earth, kind of a little bit tucked underneath the booty, opening up through the chest here, expanding, opening up at your chest, soft tuck to the chin, rounding through your sit bones and the extended legs on the earth, the heels into the earth, envisioning there's an invisible wall at your feet, and your job is to power and create energy through that. Opening up, really rising and opening up the chest here for Matsyendrasana, feeling the compression of the shoulders as you're expanding in the chest here. Breathing a breath into the front and the back of the heart. Exhaling. Slowly allowing each kickstand to melt and sink down into the earth, allowing each shoulder blade to roll back to the earth, pressing each of the feet into the earth, powering up through the hips, tuning in, tucking the core together, exhaling down for a bridge. One bridge, exhaling each leg straight up for a variation of Beautiful Vista Colorado, legs up the wall here. Just allowing your legs to be up, hovered in the air here, tuning into your toes and your ankles and rolling. If you have a wall, you can feel free to venture to the wall, or you can just be here, bending on each leg and allowing those legs to drop down onto the earth, allowing your body to just be here. Tune into the shoulders and really journeying up and squeezing up the shoulder blades together for that fish, that Matsyendrasana, and then allowing the shoulders to open, really opening up, and coming in for our final pose of surrender, of Savasana. Taking a scan of the body, allowing yourself permission to let go at the heels, and you can stay down while I sit up. Staying down and just scanning, resting and relaxing at the calves and the knees, letting go of the thighs and the glutes, the booty, the sit bones melting the belly button into the spine, allowing each vertebrae to rest into the earth, allowing the shoulders that are awakened and feeling better and more alive to rest into the earth, allowing the heart to sink and deepen. Envisioning that heart as the sun, sending healing to wherever you need healing in your body. Scanning down your arms and your fingers, up your neck, your chin, your cheeks, deepening up the eyelids, and allowing the scalp to feel heavy.
In the infinity of life, where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I am one with the power of creating. I am totally open and receptive to the abundant flow of prosperity that the universe offers. All my needs and desires are met before anything else. I am divinely guided and protected, and I make choices that are beneficial for me. I rejoice in others' successes, knowing there is plenty for us all. I am constantly increasing my conscious awareness of abundance, and this reflects in a constantly increasing income. My good comes from everyone and everyone. All is well in my life. All is well in your life. Thank you so much for this practice. Thank you for the inspiration from David. And if you have any part of your body that you would like to work on, or if there's anything that isn't making sense to you, leave comments below in the comment box and say, Shelly, like David said, Shelly, I would love for you to make a practice for opening the shoulders, use a with strap or without strap, and then I just got inspired from there. And I would love to help you heal and awaken your body again. Thank you so much for this practice. I'm truly grateful for you. I'm grateful for the millions of people across the globe. I'm grateful for YogaBLISS. I'm truly just grateful for the practice of yoga and pranayama. And know, like I said before, throughout your day, you can bring this practice with you. It doesn't end here on this mat. Bring it with you. Bring shoulder rolls. Bring affirmations of I'm patient, I'm healing, I love. Just breathe that love and light into you today. I love you so much, and spread your light and love. I give you hugs, handshakes, compliments, just shining kindness to people when they need it. And guess what? It will come back to you just when you need it. And you won't have it, it will come to you. Bring in your hands to Anjali Mudra, palms kissing palms, creating energy between the hands to the heart space, slowly journey up to the third eye, making a 360 circle with the knuckles in one direction, reversing to the opposite direction. Namaste. I love you. Thank you.
Someday you wish upon a star.